Welcome to the show, folks. This is Dime to Diamonds with Suzanne Porsky and Rochelle Harp. My name is Jessica. Real quick, the phone number, 918-890-8311, 918-890-8311. The website, dimetodiamondsradio.com. A jam-packed show today. What is going on with this crazy market? And some folks out there are saying, you know what? I can do this whole retirement thing without a financial advisor, without a written plan, and I got this. We're going to explain why that's not the best idea in just a few moments. But first, Suzanne, Rochelle, welcome, guys. How you doing?
Great. How about you?
I'm doing amazing. Glad to be here with you guys. I know that you guys have been busy in the office, but there's no summer slowdown, as I like to say. You even have an event coming up on August 6th, right?
Yes. Gosh, we're so excited, right, Rochelle? This is going to be one of two, and then that's it for 2026. We won't be back until 2027. You know, at this event, Jess, there's not any product sold. There's no pressure, no obligation. It's basically straightforward education and answers to, I think, a lot of questions that people have, you know, about retirement and about investments. I want to tell our listeners, if you're within 5 to 10 years of retirement or you are already retired, this might be the most valuable 90 minutes that you invest all year. Again, like you said, Jess, Thursday, August 6th at 7 o'clock, we're hosting that free community workshop called The 5 Pillars of Retirement at the Broken Arrow Senior Center. We are going to cover, both Rochelle and I, the 5 biggest areas that can determine whether retirement is financially secure or financially stressful for people, and we want to avoid that. The 5 pillars, Jess, that we're going to talk about are income, taxes, investments, healthcare, and protecting what they've worked so hard to build. When I say income, it's that Social Security piece. A lot of people are so confused, and just a couple tweaks can make all the difference in the world, better or worse. And we talk about the taxation of that. So again, there's no products being sold. There's no pressure. It is a classroom style. And you know that. You were here for the last one. And
sure was.
We love it. We love the clients that come from it. Listeners, we've seen a lot of you there. Please register today if you can. If you want, go ahead and text that number, 918-890-8311. If you text it and say, I want to register or workshop, I'll then reach out to you. That comes directly to me. I'll get your email address and I'll get you registered for it. We last time had, 62 registrants?
Yep.
It's packed. You're going to want to make sure there to get there a little bit early. Grab your notebook that we provide and the syllabus, and but get registered because we did have to close registration off. We were about 12 people too many.
Yeah, and it's hot here in Oklahoma, but the room is air conditioned. There's some snacks and all kinds of fun stuff. So it's a great opportunity to come and get empowered through education, learn about some of the tax bombs waiting and different other opportunities.
And get to meet us.
Yeah.
I love it. Last time, Jess, remember we were there and people come up and they're like, I heard you on the radio. I'm like, yes, because this room is kind of small. I'm not going to lie. And all the, the soundproofing and stuff that goes on. So it's always nice to see who we're talking to. And for those that made it in last week into the office, thank you, thank you, thank you. I hope you grabbed your popcorn. I know the couple of people said, we're going to get popcorn. I'm like, yes, because Rochelle says it's the best on Main Street.
It is.
Because
it
her
really is.
popcorn machine is not on Main Street.
That's right.
It's off of
Broadway,
which is walking distance from us. But yes, so stop in, say hi. More importantly, give us a call or text. I didn't know that number that they could text, but it does. It goes through the radio station, but comes directly to my phone. So love it. Love to hear from our listeners. And again, if we have anything you want us to talk about, please let us know. We are open to discuss more than just what's going on in the headlines. Right, Jess?
Absolutely. Again, I just want to make sure our listeners get that number for this workshop coming up August 6th about the 5 pillars of retirement. If you're currently retired or if you're 5 to 10 years away from retirement, this is a great event for you. By the way, guys, free, right? No selling. We're saying, hey, come enjoy some cookies, some snacks, get some great information from both Suzanne and Rochelle. Again, text register to 918-890-8311, 918-890-8311. If you don't want to text, simply call that same number. Say, hey, I want to get more information about this event. Get my name on the list. We will help you out with there as well. More details at dimetodiamondsradio.com. You know, we talk all the time here on the show about really the transition into retirement from the working world. And if you really think about it, the story of life is all about transitions. from when you're a kid, you transition different schools, the big milestones of ages. I'm in a big transition moment right now. My oldest son is about to go to kindergarten. My little mommy heart is not ready for that. So any advice you guys have for me as I'm getting prepared to drop him off to big kids school, please tell me.
Oh my gosh. I don't know. I think I cried so hard. I'm giving a part of my heart.
Yeah.
Yes.
Take my heart for the next 8 hours and please be kind.
Well, and I don't know which one would be easier is, if the poor child is sad because they're partying with you and they're little timid to go into school, or if they're super excited and stoked because you're like,
yeah,
I'm ready to go. My mom tells a story about that where she was dropping me off to go to church camp and I got on the bus and just fine and just waved. All the other kids are crying and she was like, it kind of hurt my feelings. and my aunt told her, she was like, you need to just realize that, you raise somebody that's independent and can do things, but
That's right.
I don't know which is going to be harder. What do you
think?
think?
Separation anxiety. Like Charlotte left last night after being over for a little bit visiting. She goes, bye. I go, wait. No, we have our routine. Like, you come over here, you hug me, kiss me, you ask me to carry you out to the car. She's like, looks at me and she's like, bye. I feel like that's what you did to your mom.
Yeah.
Getting on the bus.
Yeah.
I will pray for you, sister. I'm going to tell you right now.
I know I'm going to be a wreck. Whether he's excited to walk in or he's a little timid, I already know I'm going to be in the parking lot, probably with a million other moms bawling our eyes out. So anyway, I bring all that to say life is full of transitions, from when your kids are going to kindergarten, when you send them off to college, from when you change job to job. And then finally, when you transition, you say, you know what? Forget this whole 9-to-5 thing. I am ready to retire. I'm sick of this. My boss telling me what to do. Hopefully I've saved enough and I've done enough. And this is something, Suzanne and Rochelle, you guys discuss literally each and every single day with folks listening to the show today. You discuss this and say, look, I get that you're scared. I get that you're, do I have enough money? All these questions that are keeping folks up at night. So I just want you to walk us through that transition of knowing it's okay to enter the retirement world.
Well, and this last week with clients has been so different because they're just barely getting to 59 and a half and they're like, we're done. I'm done getting laid off from jobs and I want to know if I've saved enough. And that's the tough one. Usually before that, I would tell you, Jess, this last probably, since first quarter has been, you have so much saved. You need to really make that transition and retire. And it's been an emotional piece, getting them emotionally prepared to rely on this, wealth that they have accumulated. And that's where the peace of mind comes, giving them a plan. They know the plan, they can work the plan, and they get greater peace of mind making decisions. Where now I'm like, gosh, you're 51. So you're going to have to, that 59 and a half, there's penalties if you start pulling off a paycheck off of those 401k assets. I have somebody today I need to tell, she's 55. It's like, it all sounds great. You can, if we take these assets and you get taxed on them now. So all of those are conversations. So there's never been a time when somebody comes and says, this is what I want, that it can't be done.
Correct. It's about understanding what the consequences of making that choice today are and what it might look like 3 years or 5 years. And then making the decision, do I want to pay that for, the happiness that I feel I'm going to have, not going in and being miserable at my job, or do I want to, stick it out for another 3 years and then I'm ready? But you're able to make those decisions because you have the information to do that.
Right. That's where just getting financially organized. I think, Jess, we do that every day more than anything. Mm-hmm. It's like somebody brings in a box of puzzle pieces and we all have our seat with it. Like, I get where they want to go. I get to ask the questions. Where are you now? Where do you want to go? And then kind of put some other questions in there. Then I take all of that to Nate or Amy or Charlotte and say, okay, these are the programs I need ran, and then give it to me after, kind of like an x-ray. Then they give it back to me. And then I make my diet, okay, based on everything they told me, then these are the different scenarios that might work. But there's never been a no. There's never been, you're so bad, you're hopeless. Never, ever, ever, ever in over 4 decades have I run into anybody like that, ever.
Well, and none of them look the same. No two families are the same. No two retirement savings, accumulation. None of that has been the same. So what one plan works for you doesn't necessarily work for another. And so it's individualized is what I'm trying to say.
it's truly wherever they are financially tends to be a reflection of how they feel about money. Not to get too woo-woo or deep, but it's a reflection of that. So I don't have somebody that comes in and wants this lavish lifestyle. They want something simple, and then they've created that. They just need to know now what to do with it. I've climbed the mountain. This is where I'm at. Either my health has decided I'm retiring, a family emergency has decided, or I'm of age to retire. What does the rest of that look like? And man, there is just not a handbook that you can just, this is what you applied. It's not like making cookies. There's not one recipe. It's how do you want it to taste? Like, let's just talk about cookies for a minute. I like my cookies on the more, not firm. I don't like them overbaked.
I'm with you.
Right. So I know
gooey.
I know exactly how long to put the blender on for and exactly how long in my kitchen. But it took me talking to a lot of people and going through that and getting educated to know exactly what I like. And that's kind of what we do. The ingredients might all be the same. You've got the qualified, non-qualified, Social Security, pensions, and all that. How are we going to precisely put them together so it's exactly what you want? And that's what we do at no charge.
This is all about having that conversation, making it a priority. And we like to call it our custom financial needs analysis, right? What do you need and what do you not need? Again, as Rochelle pointed out here, everything's individualized. There is nothing cookie cutter about it. It's very simple. If you want to come in, if you are maybe 5 years away from retirement or you're currently retired and you're looking for another set of eyes on that plan that you got made years ago, this is a great opportunity for you. Again, this custom financial needs analysis, 918-890-8311. 918-890-8311. You know, Suzanne, you were just talking about here, you know, taking all the different puzzle pieces and making sure everything goes together just right to create that confident and that individualized financial plan, which I think we all would agree is what everybody wants. And that's why individuals come to you. You have 40 years of experience. You're somebody that's educated about this. You have your finger on the pulse. So it just makes sense. I say that, and then I find out this, all right, because we've been talking about how some people, they're not preparing for retirement with an advisor, a written plan, and even an estate plan, right? There's two trends that could make the estate part even worse. I want to dive into this. They say the price of downsizing has gotten so high that people are staying in their long-time homes and aging in place. So things stay the same, but, you know, so they don't see a need for planning. And then you got boomers who are so afraid of running out of money. They have an attitude of, I'm going to need all of it. And if there's anything left over, you can have it. So I don't see a need for an estate plan. So they kind of push it on the back burner here. So how could these attitudes really lead to problems later on?
Okay, so first of all, not the baby boomers, there is just such confusion, a lack of education on money. And that's where I'm seeing the big, huge gap is like, wow, we need to get out there and really, you've relied a lot on tech, possibly, on whatever is being shared out there amongst groups and TikTok and all the social medias and stuff. You need to get with a professional. And I wish there was more of our type of boutique firms that are holistic. That makes me sad when people come in here and I'm like, oh my gosh, you're paying so much for Social Security simply because your accounts aren't set up right. And so then that goes to the other group of people that, you know, we've got both ends of Gen Z, I don't even know all the names, but I see boomers come in here, and I got a point on that to also make. Boomers come in here, they're paying more on taxes than they need to be because you can mitigate those with the proper planning, and you're paying more on Social Security. And so that, to me, I want to say, oh gosh, let me tell you where the sale is on this. You know, you're buying it anyways. Let me tell you how to get this cheaper. I saw, this is going to be taking a rabbit trail here. I saw where in Social Security, they're going to be taking a 22 to 27% is what's suggested cut in 6 years. And I was like, what is the deal? Why is it in 6 years? And I realized it's the baby boomers are they're going to be hitting their FRA. They're going to be hitting that age 70, where they have to take it.
Right.
They're not going to be giving them an 8% increase. So they know there's going to be this huge outflow, taxing, meaning a heavy lift on our Social Security system because they misappropriated it and they haven't managed it right. So there's not going to be the money that's needed And so what they're going to do is they're taking and cutting benefits. And so I have all that in the back of my head because we're listening to all that chatter every day, all the headlines, all the information. This is our world. This is what we live in. So when somebody comes in and talks to me and we're talking about when they want to retire, I'm keeping in the back of my head, yes, your Social Security statement says that. The chatter out here is, though, that's about the same time you want to retire as everybody else is turning 70. So we're going to have to look at that Social Security payment. It's going to be a little bit less. And let's also look at what's going to happen because your Medicare is not just $200 a month. It's based on your income.
IRMA.
And you want to start selling your rental properties, or you inherit land or a house and you want to sell it. So now that's coming in as income, and it's going to boost up your income for that year, and you're penalized for 2 years. And now you're, instead of $200 a month for Medicare, you're going to spend $400, $500, $600, $800 a month. Mm-hmm. So there you go. I'll get off my soapbox. We'll try to Suzanne's brain when you sit down. I'm like,
well, also, as you talked about here with the boomers and the Social Security decreasing over the next 6 years, I mean, the boomers are essentially like aging out, right? So there's not going to be that many people putting in Social Security is what I'm trying to say.
So let's talk about it. So they're saying statistically, because I finally got the whole thing, I had time to think, a complete thought. In 6 years is what they're estimating that's when they're going to reduce by 22 to 27% whatever they've told you your payment is for Social Security. And that is because there'll be so many baby boomers turning 70, and you have to, if you haven't started, you have to start taking it at that time. And the rest of the piece.
And then the flip side of it is, there's going to be less contributions to Social Security because these individuals are also retiring at the same time. So we talk about a double deficit, right? So yep. They're going to have more money going out and less money coming in, and it's going to create a larger deficit. And as you stated earlier, it wasn't managed well, and so they're already, underfunded.
Mm-hmm. And, just on the topic of Social Security, whether it decreases or increases or, who's aging out and what have you, I think maybe you guys agree with me that these days Social Security, if it's kind of like the icing on top of the cake there. I mean, if you get it, great. It's kind of extra, but don't rely on it as to be your sole income for retirement. Am I correct in saying that?
You're absolutely correct. That's where we help build another stream of income that is absolutely positively, it is a stream of income for your life or for your life and your spouse's life. It's mm-hmm. creating the good old pensions, but even the good old pensions weren't good old pensions because somebody else was controlling it. I think I told you guys that this year we got a letter saying one of the 4 pensions for my husband, they said, yeah, they don't want to manage it anymore. They're not making money, so we're going to send you a lump sum. Thank God.
Yeah,
that I knew what to do
mm-hmm.
because all of a sudden his 582 from that one pension is gone. Okay, so now we need to go create it ourselves. And if you're not in this, I know for him, he would have been confused as heck.
Yeah.
And so we took it and turned it into a pension and made it better. But that's what I really like to specialize in for people is to say, and also call it mailbox money. You can count on this every single month. There's not a cut by 22 to 27% because something's mismanaged. Mm-hmm. You can count on this. You've done this. You've built it. Go ahead.
Well, it's using different tools, different investment opportunities to create that guaranteed income, and we talk about that a lot. The other misconception with Social Security is I think people have always thought that that's what they would live on, but Social Security was never designed to be 100% of your income. It was really designed to be about 40%,
yep.
And you were supposed to be able to fund the other 60 to 80%. And when we're talking about working income, when you go to retirement, you need probably about 70 to 80% of whatever your working income is to continue to make the normal payments, the mortgage interest payments, the insurance payments on your house, all those different kinds of payments that you have monthly. So if you have these guaranteed incomes set up diversified using different income strategies, you're able to set aside that money and have that comfort, more peace of mind with your retirement.
Yes. You know what I'd love for our listeners to answer for me, if I could ask some questions that they could answer back, would be like the mindset of CDs. I see a lot of money come in here and they're in CDs, and that is like their super safe money, and it's non-qualified. They're like, they've got a lot of money in there. I don't understand the mindset of it's paying less than inflation.
Mm-hmm.
You're having to pay taxes on everything it earns because you get a 1099.
Yep.
And that has been this last 7 to 10 days the key to so many people having to pay more on their Medicare because it's related to your income. They're like, well, I'm not even making any income. You are on all of this money that's sitting in CDs. It's earning less than it should be, not keeping up with inflation, but it's earning enough that it's throwing everything else off. And I guess what I would ask is, what would those listeners need to see to feel comfortable, or how do we educate them that there is better investment vehicles out there that have the same stability, yet it's not in that brick and mortar bank that they've gone to?
I think it's one of those opportunities where if individuals can understand that there are different tools to still accumulate wealth and actually accumulate it at a better interest, but then not be subject to the income that's coming through it, I would hope that they'd want to take a jump.
Right.
And see that.
I sit there more perplexed on how this happened, because you can see it on the tax returns when they come in and I show them to you and I'm like, ouch. Dividends, got it. I can figure that out because they're just been used to dividends. But you go to talk about CDs and it's like you're asking them to give to move their favorite blanket or wash it or something. I'm like, well, what are we working with here? How is that safety blanket? The government is counting on you staying paralyzed in fear and keeping it at the banks because that's how they're making the most out of it. They're taxing you lower than inflation, and they're basing your Medicare premiums off of your income, and that's income that you're not even really using or seeing.
Well, and I think it goes back to individuals either listening to TikTok or someone here or, someone at the water cooler, as you like to say. And so getting second set of eyes, having someone look at it that has different education could be helpful.
I wonder if it's like my husband when I pull out my little tools I had, I think probably from high school, from my home ec class. It's a little hammer and all my tools seem to be a little littler. And then he's like, you want to use one of mine? And I'm like, why? He's like, because you can actually do it in one fell swoop. Like, you can hit the nail and it'll go straight in. That thing is going to take about 20 swipes. And that's kind of probably, now that I'm thinking about it, probably how I look at people when they come in. I'm like, oh, geesh. And that's why we do the workshops. It's like, I feel like if people are educated, no, I know people. And once they're educated, they feel empowered.
Correct.
It's trust, I think, anymore, because you get it from so many angles.
Well, and it's taking that first step of being a little bit uncomfortable, knowing that you're going into a room where maybe you don't know or have all the answers to the questions that are being asked or the topics that are being talked about. But that's why you want to get in that room, so that you can leave with that empowerment.
Knowing that we're a trusted source. That's why I encourage people, look us up on YouTube, on Instagram, Facebook, any of those. Look us up on YouTube. There is like the episodes we do on Channel 2 on Wednesdays at noon. There are all of these radio programs, our podcast. Get to know us and see if on your end it might be of interest. And goodness gracious, come in, get a bag of popcorn. There's no obligation either way, to be honest. Like, because if you're not wanting to help, that's okay. Just come get some popcorn, say hi. We're all people. We love people.
Yep.
Stop in a workshop, listen to us if we can help you, or somebody that you know. We get a lot of people that bring friends and family, and it's just like the people that were here last week. They were from the radio.
Yep.
Hello, Mom. She came in from Illinois. We got to sit and talk to her and her son who delivers pizza. He used to do Domino's, now he does Papa John's, or vice versa, but I'm a Papa John's pizza girl. And Andolini's, but those are our listeners that come in, and he brought Mom. He came in and said his mom was visiting from out of state and was across the street at the bookstore. But then I said, hey, she has a trust. Do you have a trust in those assets? Because he's worried about, not worried, but he wants to prepare taxes and Medicare. He goes, can I go get Mom? I said, absolutely. And it was Nate's birthday, so I said, bring her over. We're all going to eat Nate's birthday cake. But that's what I mean. I mean, it's just we're relatable, and we are a one-stop shop. Thank goodness you were right. I called you and said, hey, do you have a minute? Can you stop in? You said, yeah, 7.5 of them.
Yep.
Stopped in before your next appointment, and we were able to talk to them. So
Absolutely.
Yeah, we love our listeners. It makes all this worth it.
Absolutely. You mentioned this workshops, empowering people, educating them, giving them the tools that they need. And listen, it can be uncomfortable at times and maybe a little overwhelming, but you know that old saying, get comfortable being uncomfortable so you can, conquer the next obstacle. So if you'd like to attend this workshop coming up on August 6th, it's about the 5 pillars of retirement. It is in the Broken Arrow Senior Center, guys. It is free to attend. You must register 918-890-8311. You can text us at that number and say, hey, I want more information, or put my name on the list, or you can call as well, 918-890-8311. Again, that website, dimetodiamondsradio.com. A few moments ago, Suzanne, you talked about mailbox money. We're going to dive into that in just a few moments. Stick with us. We'll be right back.
We often hear the words retirement and annuity used in the same sentence, but it's important to know that not all annuities are the same. If you're not sure, it may be time for an annuity x-ray. Suzanne Porsky at Phoenix Financial Group can review your annuity, then explain the good, the bad, and all the fine points in between. Call Suzanne today at 918-890-8311 and schedule your complimentary annuity x-ray. That's 918-890-8311. Get more details at dimetodiamondsradio.com.
If you're worried about your money, both now and in retirement, you're not alone. Inflation is the highest it's been in decades. Government spending feels out of control, and many people are concerned that higher future taxes could mean less monthly income when they need it most. So what can you do? And most importantly, who can you trust to help guide you through it? Meet Suzanne Porsky, a financial advisor at Phoenix Financial Group.
Hi, I'm Suzanne Porsky. I have been helping people just like you retire with greater financial confidence, even during uncertain times. Here's what I know. Most people, they don't need more opinions. They need clarity. They want to know how today's economy, inflation, interest rates, and elections could impact their retirement, not someone else's. That's why I invite you to come in and sit down with me. Together, we will walk through custom strategies designed to help reduce uncertainty, to protect what you've worked so hard to build, and create a plan focused on reliable income in retirement. I will show you ways to organize your money and address those tax concerns and prepare for the future. So if you're looking for straightforward, no-nonsense guidance and you want to understand how to build a more tax-efficient retirement without taking unnecessary risks, I am offering a complimentary retirement and tax review. There is absolutely no obligation, just a chance to see where you stand now, understand all your options, and then get clarity to the questions that have been keeping you up at night.
Call Suzanne today at 918-890-8311 and schedule your complimentary retirement and tax review. You can also visit dimetodiamondsradio.com.